can't miss, 15-year veteran, multiple All-Star games, going to entertain couple MVPs. Yeah, I think this is as good as it gets. And he comes out of the 2019 draft with Bobby Witt Jr., who I feel like is going to be eventually a franchise player as well. So Mike Elias, they had their work cut out for him here. This wasn't an easy selection. But when you dive into Adley Rutschman, listen to his parents talk. The Baltimore Orioles, if you want to go down a wormhole on Adley Rutschman, go online. The Baltimore Orioles did like a little two-part docuseries on him that I dove into. You want to know why this kid's going to be a star? Mom and dad are stars. Sister's a star. I mean, this kid, the work ethic, he wasn't can't miss coming out of the womb. This has been a slow burn to Oregon State. And I kind of wanted to dive in a little bit. So let's take a look at his swing. And let me let you in on a little secret, because, by the way, look at him taking in the moment. Think he's feeling it right there? His whole body's completely numb. He's been waiting for this since he was 6 or 7 years old, and he will not disappoint. It gave me a little Matt Wieters vibe when he came up for the Baltimore Orioles. They really put a lot of pressure on him. What I loved about him was he also kicked off for Oregon State's football team until he realized he was going to be the #1 pick. Harold Reynolds in 2019 went out and spoke to him. Take a listen to this. It's pretty awesome.
Striding and loading into my hip right here, so all my energy was right in here. And then from there, I can transfer that into my front.
All right, give me your stance, right-handed. All right, I'm not afraid of that face. All right, so let me see on the left side.
Yeah, he's also not a pitcher.
Tell me about your stance on the left side.
Okay, so same thing over here. I start off a little bit with this foot turned inward, but naturally as I go, the knee kind of points outward. I think I get my hip a little bit better, just from the standpoint of if I was right here, it's harder for me to get into the hip, kind of how my body works. I think I'm a little bit more shallow in my stance.
You said you hold your hands a little lower.
A little lower, yeah. Right-handed, I'm kind of up in here. Left-handed, I'll be down in here.
Just a comfort thing, or just fell that way?
Yeah, allows me to slot up my hands better, and I think that's why I have a little bit more elevated swing left-handed. Right-handed, I'm more flat to the ball. Left-handed, I'm a little bit steeper.
A guy who controls the game from behind the dish, hits from both sides of the plate. I wanted to take a look if he's still doing exactly what he was doing in Corvallis, Oregon at Oregon State as he's progressed this meteoric rise through the minor leagues. Let's take a look if he's starting to, because what we've noticed doing these skyboxes, guys start to tighten their swing up a little bit more. So let's go. Dive in right here, run the tape. Take a look at him from both sides of the plate. You're hearing a lot of guys talk about getting into their backside. You're hearing a lot of guys talk about getting into their back hip. And that's what he's doing, almost using his back hip as a catapult, doing it a little bit more. You see the maturity on the right side there in a Baltimore Orioles uniform. All we had, Adley, was the triple right there. And from the right side, I know you were a little bit out front, but look at him get into his back hip and drive the baseball. And when I see him, I can't help but think Buster Posey.
Wow.
In 2010, when Buster walked into our clubhouse with San Francisco, he was the best player. He immediately changed everything for us. He gave us a sinus rhythm to our lineup. He controlled the pitching staff. He was the captain from the moment he walked in. And I feel like Adley Rutschman, listening to him talk, listening to his father talk, listening to Dan O'Dowd the night of the draft say this is a can't-miss kid, and watching him take in the moment the other night, I know it's a ton of pressure, and he's not walking into nearly as talented a roster or pitching staff as Buster did with San Francisco. But, man, what a staple for the next, 15, hopefully longer than that.